So the other day, at the time that this video comes out, like several months ago, but the other day, I was talking about um, to somebody how it's fascinating seeing how the way that people react to you in social media and things. Because as I'm sure anybody who's familiar with my content is aware, I don't have any qualms about saying things that are controversial. I don't give a fuck. If it's the conclusion that I've come to, then, and it's controversial, I probably started off on your side of it, and then just saw enough evidence that convinced me, wait a minute, no, 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 no. There's something else here. So, for me, somebody coming from the argument that I started with originally, years ago probably, for whatever it is, because it takes time to process these things. It takes time to change your mind. And it takes reasons to change your mind. So somebody coming from a position that I used to have is not going to convince me because I've been there before and I left that for reasons. And if you're still in that position, then you're almost certainly not going to be aware of enough things yet. You haven't seen enough to change your mind. So there's no real point in me arguing with you. But what will happen is, I'll say the controversial thing, and people will just very, very quickly, like you can see this on social media, you can see how fast people respond. And it's obvious that they can't have put thought into this because they're responding immediately, right? They respond immediately saying what they think. Like, no, 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 no. And then say what they think. And then if I take any amount of time to produce an explanation of any aspect of why I think what I think, again, instantly they'll respond like, no, 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 no. Like, bitch, you didn't even read what I said. I know that because it took you 7 seconds to respond. All that happened is you saw that I said something defending my reasoning, and you didn't read what I said. You didn't understand the defense I made. You didn't think about what I was doing. You just saw that I'm trying to defend myself, and you attacked again. And this is a very common thing that I get. This is basically why I don't give a shit about comments. Like, sometimes I'll be like, yeah, no, you're full of shit. With a little bit of reasoning. And then you come back like, well, that's not enough. No, of course it's not enough. I understand that. It took me years to change my mind from where you're at. I don't think there's anything I could do that would be enough. Because long before I've given you enough, you'll just get bored and walk away. So there's no real point in me engaging with this bullshit, right? But it's interesting, the amount of ego required for this sort of response, right? You see somebody disagreeing with you, so you just like, no, I think this. And then if they provide anything in defense of themselves, it doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't matter how well articulated it is, it doesn't matter if it's just in the same form as the attacker, well, but I think this, right? Which, an instant second attack or third attack, and it just keeps going like this. There's no point in having these. It's not a conversation. It's not a discussion. It's just basically some random asshole coming up with a shotgun and continually shooting you in the face every time you twitch. That's really all it is. Because he hates you. That's it. He's just trying to murder you. That's really all it is. It doesn't matter who you are, why you think what you think. You don't get an opportunity to explain yourself. You never get a benefit of the doubt that, well, maybe there's a reason you think this. Maybe there's a reason you disagree with me. Nobody acts that way. What they do is they come in, they attack If you twitch, they attack again. And it's just to get you to shut the fuck up. That's it. That's it. And I noted previously, actually, in real time just moments ago, but in YouTube time several months ago, I lost my train of thought. That, yeah, this is why I don't engage with comments, basically, because there's no point. The people making the comments don't care. They're only trying to get a rise. They're only trying to show off or something. It's about their ego, right? So there's no point in me responding, really. Maybe somebody, some third party coming and looking on, seeing my responses, is going to be like, oh shit, well, of these two people, he's the one that's more reasonable because he's actually, like, trying to say something, and this other person's just fucking on the attack. But do I really care? The internet, there's so much on it at this point. Why? Like, why? What the fuck? I don't give a fuck. But yeah, so it's interesting that in that previous comment, I noted that, so I regained my train of thought, that people stopped commenting on my videos as soon as I said that I'm not going to engage in this bullshit. Which demonstrates that this is absolutely what they're doing. It's all about their personal ego. It's all about, you know, they're just like, there's some asshole walking around with a gun trying to defend their community and what they view as the correct thing, and anything that doesn't look right, they shoot it in the face. And if it twitches, they shoot it again. 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 And they never ask questions. They're never serious about understanding why this thing is here. They just see, oh, it's a threat, kill it. That's it. That's all it is. That's all it is. But then, if you, as the person that they're continually shooting in the face, ever dare to use profanity, oh, you're not being civil. Bitch. You're trying to murder me. What are you doing? I'm not being civil? What the fuck? What the fuck? And then this is juxtaposed in polite society with a completely opposite style of conversation, which is considered to be civil, right? And this is where you don't say anything at all, but you're very polite and you don't use profanity and you don't talk about taboos, right? There's no politics, there's no religion, or if it is, it's in a very vague way, and we just kind of like agree to disagree, that kind of bullshit. Like, nobody ever says anything because you can't. You're not allowed to. Because if you say anything, then this other behavior of just murdering everybody that disagrees with you comes into play. And I'm not talking about literal murder, obviously, because Jesus Christ, do you understand a metaphor? Holy shit. Why is this the way that we are? Why is this the way that it's like the default way that people behave if they're not like educated or come to a better view of how to be on their own, right? Like, I feel like at its core, like things like Buddhism and even Christianity, things like this, like the rules that they're kind of like laying out are really sort of like, stop being like this. Stop being jackasses to each other. Other people exist. It's okay. Disagreements between people are things. That's a thing that happens. You're not the only person in the world. Your views are not the only views, and your views are not necessarily the best views. Chill the fuck out. Stop trying to fuck over everybody else that disagrees with you. Holy shit. And if somebody says something that's different from what you think, maybe you should listen to them. Because you don't know why they're saying that. You don't understand where they're coming from. Chill the fuck out. Listen. Stop trying to murder everything that's not you. Holy shit. And I think it's notable that the other behavior that dominates polite society is to just walk around not saying anything and being polite to everybody. Like, oh, I'm a good person because
Oh, the weather is lovely today. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Did you see that thing in the news? Oh, what thing?
because you need to make sure that the person that's talking about it is that you know how to agree with them.
Oh, that car accident. Oh, that was terrible. Yes, that was so terrible. I really hope that they all survive. But
Like, you're not saying anything. Everybody hopes that they survive. Everybody thinks that the car accident is terrible. You're not saying anything worth saying. This is how general conversation operates. You're not saying jack shit. You're just saying shit that everyone would agree with. And it's on purpose because the other version of this is to just go on the attack. There is never a point where an average person is actually sincerely listening to other people. Right? And this is how comments on YouTube and Facebook and whatever, Twitter and all that shit, this is how it works. If you step outside of these two behaviors, people don't know what the hell you're doing. And guess what? I don't engage in either of those two behaviors. I try to say shit that is actually worth saying. You might disagree with me. You probably disagree with me. You should disagree with me. That's fine. That's fine. You're allowed to disagree with me. I don't give a shit. Go ahead, leave comments. Just don't necessarily expect that I'm going to engage with them or that I'm going to engage with them in the way that you personally want me to. Because that's you being an asshole. And I don't condone that. You shouldn't be an asshole. And me not engaging in your comments in the way that you want me to is not me being an asshole, because what you're trying to get me to do when people criticize the way that I interact, they are trying to get me to either go be the militant dickhead that just shoots everything in the face, or speak in ways where you don't say anything, but it's pleasant. Everything is pleasant. There's no taboos. There's no profanity. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Profanity! Oh, you said fuck! Ah! You're a terrible person. What the fuck is wrong with you? No, those are shitty ways to be. I'm not gonna be that way. And if you don't like it, I don't care. I don't give a shit. Not my problem. That's your problem. You're the one living in this weird shadow world where we can't have conversations because you just shut down any conversation.